Welcome back to Storytime Inspirations, where we share stories of failure, hope, and new beginnings. Today's story is a long and heartfelt journey about losing a dream and finding another. It is called The Road Back to Myself. Let's begin. When I was 17, I thought I had everything figured out. My dream was clear. I wanted to become a doctor. Ever since I was a little child, I imagined wearing the white coat, holding a stethoscope, and helping sick people heal. Everyone in my family believed in that dream too. They always said, "You are smart, you can do it." And I believed them. In high school, I worked hard. I stayed up late studying, I joined science clubs, and I always tried to be one of the top students in my class. My friends often asked me for help with biology, and I felt proud. I thought, this is it. I'm on the right road. Nothing can stop me. But life doesn't always follow our plans. It began with one bad exam. It was math, a subject I usually understood well. That day, my mind went blank. I stared at the paper, and nothing made sense. I tried to stay calm, but time slipped away. When the results came back, I had failed. My teacher looked surprised. My parents looked worried. And my friends teased me. I told myself, "It's only one test. I'll do better next time." But the truth was, things started to go downhill from there. The more I tried to study, the more pressure I felt. My mind felt heavy. I stayed up until midnight, but I couldn't focus. I kept reading the same page over and over, and still I couldn't remember anything. My body grew tired, my eyes hurt, and my heart filled with fear. I began to doubt myself. I thought, maybe I'm not as smart as everyone says. Maybe I'm not good enough. When final exams came, I tried my best. I prayed, I studied, I gave everything I had. But when the results were announced, I didn't score high enough. My dream of studying medicine ended right there. The news hit me like a storm. I felt crushed, broken, lost. I didn't want to face anyone. I didn't want to answer questions like, "What will you do now?" or "Why didn't you make it?" I locked myself in my room and stared at the ceiling for hours. In my mind, I replayed all the moments I had imagined myself as a doctor. They now felt like lies. I told myself, I am a failure. My life is over before it even began. For weeks, I walked around like a shadow. I didn't laugh, I didn't dream, I didn't care. I was alive, but not living. Then one evening, something small but important happened. I went for a walk in the small park near my house. I just wanted to escape the walls of my room. The air was cool and children were playing. One little boy sat on the grass crying because his kite string had broken. His mother was busy with his baby sister, so she couldn't help him. Without thinking, I walked over, picked up the kite, and helped him fix it. I tied the string again and showed him how to hold it against the wind. Together, we tried, and soon the kite flew high into the sky. The boy's face lit up with joy. He looked at me and said, "Thank you. You are really good at this." That simple moment woke something inside me. I realized I wasn't useless. I still had something to give. Even though I had failed in one dream, it didn't mean I had no value. The next day, I remembered how good it felt to help someone. So I started small. I helped my younger cousins with their homework. At first, it was just math problems or simple reading, but the more I helped, the more I saw their smiles when they understood. That gave me hope. Soon, I began volunteering to teach children in my neighborhood. We sat on the floor with notebooks and pencils, learning together. The children laughed, asked questions, and made mistakes, but they always tried again. Their excitement reminded me of the joy I had lost. One of the older teachers in the community noticed me. She said, "You have patience. You explain things in a way children can understand. You should think about becoming a teacher." At first, I laughed. A teacher? No, I was supposed to be a doctor. That was my dream. But later, when I was alone, I thought about it. What if this was a new dream? What if I could still help people, not by healing their bodies, but by guiding their minds? Teachers, too, save lives, just in a different way. The idea grew in my heart. Slowly, I began to accept it. I applied to the education program at a nearby college. I was nervous, but I decided to try. To my surprise, I was accepted. College life was not easy. I still had exams, heavy books, and days when I wanted to quit. But there was something different this time. I felt alive. I loved learning about how people think, how children grow, how knowledge can change lives. I loved standing in front of a classroom, even as a student teacher, and seeing eyes light up with understanding. There were challenges, of course. Sometimes students didn't listen. Sometimes lessons failed. Sometimes I doubted myself all over again. But each challenge taught me to be stronger, kinder, and more patient. Years later, I graduated. On my first day as a real teacher, I walked into a classroom full of children who looked at me with curiosity and expectation. My heart beat fast, but when I picked up the chalk and began to speak, I felt something powerful. I had found my place. I was not the doctor I once dreamed of being, but I was something just as important. I was a teacher. Looking back, I now see that my failure was not the end. It was the beginning of a new path. Life closed one door, but it opened another, one that fit me better than I ever imagined. So when people ask me today, "Do you regret failing back then?" I smile and say, "No, because if I hadn't fallen, I would never have learned how to stand again." Thank you for listening to The Road Back to Myself. Remember, the road to your future is not always straight. Sometimes you must lose one dream to discover another. If this story encouraged you, please share it with a friend and subscribe to our channel for more motivational stories. Until next time, keep moving forward and never lose hope.